So, read the title, you know what you came for. Five Nights at Freddy's. I am acutely aware of the fact that this series has had some astronomical growth over the past 16.5 years, rooted in humble beginnings with the release of Five Nights at Freddy's for the PS2 and ending up one of the world's largest media franchises. I also love lying. Making shit up is a recurring theme I've discussed a whopping total of twice, and after 2 years and roughly 7 or so people deciding they very much enjoyed listening to me chat shit, I figured, well, I mean, maybe I should do that again. So hey, round 3, baby, the final bout. I want to cover everything I missed in fake leaks and hoaxes and in theories and rumors, as well as document all the incredibly weird bootleg spooks that have materialized since the release of those videos in a surprising comeback of hoax culture. But first, this video was sponsored by Opera GX. If you've been around long enough to watch me morph into a 90s platformer mascot and shoot the shit with a nicotine-addicted rat, then there's no question you've heard of the world's first browser built for gaming. I couldn't accept this sponsor without making it blatant that Opera GX does, unfortunately, openly endorse crypto and NFTs, something I personally refuse to support. But if that ain't a deal breaker for you, GX offers some truly nifty quality of life features you just won't find from your discount store brand garbage. Features such as, it's free VPN, cause who buys things anymore? Look how stupid you look fumbling for your loonies, dumbass! Opera GX gives you this shit for no money, you're welcome. Forced Dark Mode, which does exactly what it says on the tin, I know. The GX Cleaner, removing any and all shit-ridden files to boost your browser's performance in one fell swoop. A built-in video pop-out making procrastinating a breeze, and the Flow feature, designed to connect GX Mobile to its desktop counterpart, allowing you to send files, videos, and links between them instantaneously. GX Mobile itself also exhibits its very own GX Corner, decked out with a game release calendar, gaming news, and free mobile games, baby! Clench Opera GX by the throat today, boys, girls, and every friends, link in the description. But hey, as questionably intrigued as I am to talk about some good old-fashioned hoax and rumor garbo again, do bear in mind, due to the whole picking up the dinner scraps nature of the whole discussion, I can almost guarantee you this will be one hell of a horribly structured video, and to that I say, it at least complements the lore of the game series I'm discussing. As always, rumors are essentially he said, she said, and they said, we're inclusive on the show, and are otherwise practically hearsay. They take no effort to spit out, there's 10 billion of them, I'll be cherry-picking the rumors and theories I find to be actually interesting. Hoaxes, on the other hand, are essentially supplementary fake proof to an interesting enough theory, though it can exist without a prior word-of-mouth prediction too. The real good shit is scarce, I'll be presenting to you picks of the litter for the stuff I think made enough of a relative impact. Keyword scarce, I already went through doing my best to mention any I missed initially in FNaF rumors. There are not going to be a lot of those here. So yeah. So hey, guess who ended up glossing over a stupidly specific chunk of false rumors, like for example, the idea that you played as a robot. Like, come on, you expected people to believe the stoic, stone-faced, early 2010s indie horror character capable of like 2 core mobility functions was somehow an organic being? Of course you did. People thought the cupcake was a hidden camera of some kind, I'm sure would have made for just the most entertaining 6 hours of security footage pointed to anywhere but the immediate threat. Apparently the funny looking drawing of Bonnie in the office and in the West Hall was some kind of foreshadowing for Springtrap. There were rumblings of the existence of an alleged FNaF movie a little under a year before its official confirmation. I don't remember this thing in the slightest, though a Wikipedia listing claimed a release date of 2017, featuring the voice cast behind every Nickelodeon cartoon under the sun and the talent behind an iconic, sentient, pissed-off robot. You know, there are worse choices. And finally, supposedly, the cupcake's real name is Carl, which at this point I think is widely and rightfully believed to be nothing more than just a cute fan-given name, not unlike FNaF 4's Freddles, for example. Speaking of though, as far as any extra full-on hoaxes for the thing go, surprisingly there was one more fairly underground spoof, so to speak. Pre-Golden Freddy patch set in each character's AI difficulty value to read 1987 in FNaF's custom night mode, and Tonkin Freddy's nose with Chica visible in the window would supposedly cause the cupcake in the office to turn golden. I mean, it's almost cool. We already had Golden Freddy, I suppose this was just the Tesco value version of bragging rights for people who couldn't find him, like the participation trophy of Easter eggs. Unfortunately, I found squat in regards to any real remnants of this hoax's existence back in the day besides the one image, so to the unlucky son of a gun that fell for the shit sucking egg. Anyway, on to FNaF 2! Now hey, I covered a decent amount of jank last 2 times, but that don't mean people never got stupider. People thought Withered Chica exhibited an 8 on her endoskeleton, as if to indicate that each withered animatronic was numbered respectively, like they were mass manufactured off a production line or something. You know, I've fallen for dumb shit before, but I can at least write never been trolled by a generated cloud texture off my bucket list. People thought the Purple Man in the Death minigames was named Vincent and loved toast and there's this even count as a rumor? Under the alias Rebornica at the time, they created an incredibly popular webcomic featuring acres upon acres of headcanons, the accuracy of which to the games may have gotten just a little lost through word of mouth. But hey, how could I blame anybody for thinking any of this was canon? Purple guy, toast, it probably says Vincent if you squint real hard into the static. Enough of that shit though, time for something I hope sounds a tad more reasonable. Toy Chica was heavily theorized to have caused the bite of 87, given the fact that her beak is removable, and oh, now her mouth is solid plastic and capable of motor functions. Well, I'm guessing the idea was that having already caused the bite of 87, the force of crushing a child's frontal lobe would have loosened the connection from her beak to her head, something I slightly doubt given her otherwise pristine condition and the total lack of law enforcement and or immediate shutdown of operations. That's or perhaps the idea was that with the removal of her beak, a gap coincidentally big enough for a 4th grader skull to fit into revealed Chica's endoskeleton braces underneath, or something. Anyway, speaking of dead people, both Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie, despite the lack of a unified general look, were supposedly both springlock failure victims, a theory I don't hate. I don't know, it was like one of the only theories that wasn't unanimously agreed upon by everybody with a pulse that I looked at and thought, yeah. And finally, indubitably, subsequently, last but not least, oh my god, it moved. The Paper Plate Pals, Paper Pals, Paper Pussies, really, any variation of the phrase Paper Plate Dolls are 3 mysteriously handcrafted iterations of, assumedly, Freddy, Bonnie, and anonymous human entity 37. Or probably Balloon Boy or something. Despite their mere role as decoration for the place, people were adamant that something was up with these critters, in part due to the uncanny nature of the faces, Bonnie specifically resembling the crying child posters from the first game, and the fact that old Lefty over here straight up dips and enters your office, never to return. This is such a strange little Easter egg that never found any conclusion whatsoever, nor poses any more of a supernatural anomaly in future series than in FNaF 2, yet remained a significant topic of discussion for a while. These dudes ain't the subject of any crazy conspiracies out there or nothing. I just adore the novelty of these stupid little guys sparking so much intrigue. Look at this goofy ass smile and tell me you don't want to just shove him under a desk lamp and interrogate him for questioning. FNaF 3! I don't know. People thought the bad ending was canon? They were right? I think I found a wet sock at the bottom of this barrel. I think, especially after a second pass, on top of the fact that this game literally existed to tie up any loose ends the series had at the time, any real topic of discussion here is a pretty barren shot in the dark. I don't know, Springtrap's addicted to Tylenol, there, you happy? FNaF 4! So people thought you were in a coma the entire time. That was kind of the big one for a wee bit. Also, everybody ever wanted to kill each other because nobody could decide if this thing was shown off the bite of 87 or the bite of 83. I don't think even Scott knows at this point, or probably cares. And again, here's where the more out there rumors began to piss off. You had the classic Dream Theory, Tiny Toy Chica, Balloon Kid, yada yada yada, but I don't care. The more zany, non-lore-centric stuff was truly apparent during the big teaser drops for the game. You got these sick-ass macro shots of each character and some dastardly lighting. I saw this pop up on the Five Nights at Freddy's subreddit for the first time and thought, wow, that's a cool fan game teaser. Could you blame me? Most official images at the time looks like this. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 teasers were way too kick-ass for their own good. You and I both know it. The big influx of rumors I saw pop up were after the drop of Nightmare Freddy's reveal, some speculating that this was a deteriorated Spring Freddy, a non-Fredbear Springlock Bear costume variant companion to Spring Bonnie that apparently existed. The rumor that Freddy would use his drill fingers to punch holes through your security door in the context of a weird reimagining of the first game that had randomly switched to look more spooky when it felt like it, potentially in the form of an abstract dream sequence, or that this would be a robotic museum attraction piece, either as some kind of a recovered, withered variation of Freddy, or as an animatronic built specifically to spook people, the idea being that regardless, he'd appear alongside a historic showcase of the auctioned off remnants of the devastated FNaF 3 location. You know, I'm starting to realize that by this point, people's theories for these things sounded way more exciting than what we actually got. Terrible things come in small packages. Damn, look at that rim lighting and that stuffy Spring Bonnie doll. Honestly, I can't imagine what kind of wacky shit Scott could do with something like this. FNaF World! Oh my days, fam! How did I miss any of this? Answer, because there's like 3 points of interest. I know I skipped over FNaF World entirely in both the hoax and rumor videos, likely because this thing was such an obscure left turn that I think people were too busy trying to figure out what the bitch this thing even was before moving on to gaslighting people over it. Aside from the rumors of an ice cave zone cut from the game, supported by the equally cut ice cave theme briefly featured on Scott's website, only a tiny handful of wacky rumors came to light, namely people theorizing on whatever this dancing shadow dude's deal was, predicting predictions for an Update 3 featuring adventure versions of the characters from Sister Location, and the whole implied several Scott Cawthon's theory, in which the man allegedly takes 3 different forms in the game through his avatar Anim Dude, Desk Guy, and potentially this dude hanging out with, presumably, his kids watching the show together. All of these are equally as interesting to me, and I'm sure somebody out there just wishes that was a compliment. Anyway, onto I didn't drag you out here again for you to not do your job, LS Monk. Oh, you're dead. Oh, like you're actually dead. You can say that again. Well, join me back in a tad when I figure out how to resurrect a corpse, why my little crony's dead in the first place, and why my floor is just caked in rat shit. Wait a minute.